Hey everybody, how you doing? Hope everyone had a good weekend. So I'm going to talk to you now about a long-term project that we're going to be doing over the next 8 weeks. That's right, 8 weeks. So um, every week or each week, you'll be doing a little bit to work towards your um, final product, I guess you can say. And then during the eighth week, you're going to be presenting to the class. Now, that may be hopefully I'm hopeful that you'll be presenting in person in our classroom, but of course we don't know whether or not that'll be the case. So if not, you're going to be presenting somehow online to the rest of the class. But let's get to exactly what it is, and we're going to talk about week one today. So this is called the Learn Something New project, and it is exactly what it sounds like. Your goal, or my goal for you, over the next 8 weeks is to choose something new that you want to learn. And it can really be just about anything that is appropriate for us to talk about in school. So I'm going to run through the first week's assignment with you, and I did a sample version. So I'm going to post this sample version as a resource for you to take a look at. And this is what you have to do for week one. Each week, I'll be posting an assignment that you're going to have to do for the Learn Something New project, and that'll go on for the next 8 weeks. This will be posted on Monday morning, April 6th, and the week one assignment is due by the end of the day on Friday. So that's actually 11:59 p.m. on Friday, April 10th. So let's take a look at week one. I'm going to read through it with you and show you what I did and how I filled it out as an example. And then you're going to get started working on yours. So, Learn Something New project, week number one, choosing what to learn. So, this week we're going to set out to work on a new long term project. We'll be calling this project the Learn Something New project. This project will ask you to learn something new outside of school and then to reflect on your learning and eventually present your learning to the class. You will have to learn how to do something that you don't already know how to do, or you will be asked to learn about a topic that you don't already know a lot about. You will want to choose something that really interests you since you will be thinking about it for 8 weeks. We will brainstorm some ideas in Google Classroom together, but it's up to you to choose what you will learn. Along the way, I'll be providing you with weekly assignments in order to help you plan out your learning, keep track of your learning, and reflect on the process you went through to do your learning. All weekly assignments relating to this project will be posted on Monday of each week in Google Classroom. The first step that you will need to complete this week will be to choose your new learning. I would like you to begin by coming up with 5 possible things that you might want to learn how to do or want to learn about. Please write your 5 choices below. So you can see for Mr. St. Pierre, what I did here is my answers are the ones in red. So I chose 5 things that I'm interested in either learning how to do or learning more about. So my first choice is learn to speak Spanish. My second choice is learn more about my family history. My third choice is learn to do a cartwheel. My fourth choice is learn more about gardening. And my fifth choice is learn how to draw better. So you are welcome to use any of these, okay? Or you're welcome to choose 5 of your own, okay? Or you can sort of mix and match. I want you to think about what are things that you want to learn about, okay? So it could be that you want to learn Italian. It could be that you want to learn how to do a backflip. It could be that you want to learn how to swim or that you want to learn how to run a mile. So whatever it is that you want to learn, maybe it's you want to learn more about leopards. Whatever it is, this is what you're going to fill out first. 5 different things, okay? So take some time to think about it. You don't have to get all of this down Monday morning. You may want to think about it throughout a couple days this week and get 1 or 2 down per day. Okay? Now that you've done some brainstorming, you're going to have to choose one thing to learn how to do or learn about for this project. What will you learn about or how to do? So this is where you come up with your final choice. So you get your first 5 choices down and you're going to think about those probably for a couple days, especially if you're not 100% sure what you want to learn. Okay? After you do that, okay? And you're going to really narrow it down and say, okay, now I know what I want to learn. I know which of those 5 choices I want to focus on over the next 8 weeks. And you're going to write it down here, okay? And so you can see for Mr. St. Pierre, my learning goal is going to be to learn to speak Spanish. Now, I understand that after 8 weeks, I'm not going to sound like a native fluent Spanish speaker. So in this case, it's going to be able to learn to speak more than I can right now. Next week, I'll be setting some goals for myself. Okay. But so same with you. If you set out and you want to learn how to speak French, I don't and you don't know how to speak any right now, I don't expect by the end of 8 weeks that you're going to be able to move to France and have no problems, right? But what I would be able to expect is that you'll be able to learn some phrases. You'll be able to learn how to, maybe you're going to learn how to say the colors or the numbers or how to introduce people, how to have a conversation. So um, we're going to sort of narrow that down. And that goes for whatever you choose. Okay. I'm not expecting everyone to become an expert on everything. But we are going to set some goals to show that we've learned something. The only other thing that you'll need to do this week is to tell me why you chose this option. What about this excites you or interests you? Why did you make this choice? Please answer in the box below in a paragraph consisting of full and complete sentences. Pay attention to capitalization and punctuation. Okay? This is some formal writing in here. Okay? This isn't text language. This isn't just notes in a notebook. Okay? I'm looking for your best writing in here. So when I say pay attention to capitalization and punctuation, I do want to show you that there's a link here. So you can click that, and it's going to take you to an editing checklist. And that editing checklist is going to remind you to read your entire piece of writing, checking only for capitalization. So what should you capitalize? Well, you can click this link, okay? And it'll remind you, here are the different types of things that we capitalize, okay? When it's the first word in a sentence, when it's somebody's name, etc., etc., etc. So use this checklist, it's there for you. Read your entire piece of writing, checking only for end mark punctuation. So what is end mark punctuation? Well, we have a link. It's going to take us this. Statements end with periods, right? Questions end with question marks. Exclamations that show strong feelings end with an exclamation point. And commands can end with a period or an exclamation point. So clean your room, hurry up, okay? So use that editing checklist. So now I'm going to get back to my example. All right. And what I wrote here was this. You can see I wrote a full paragraph. This is, I don't know, I'm going to guess 5-ish sentences or so. And here's what I wrote. I want to learn how to speak Spanish for several reasons. One of the primary reasons that I want to learn to speak Spanish is because it would help me a lot in my job. Most years, I have several Spanish-speaking families, and if I were more fluent in speaking and understanding the language, I'd be able to better communicate with those families and not be so reliant upon a translator. Another reason that I want to speak the language better is because it's a language that has been in my family for many generations prior to me. It was my father's native language, a language that my grandmother can still speak, and was the primary language of my biological grandfather. On my dad's side, my family's from Mexico, and I want to be able to recapture a language that my family has had throughout our history. So that was 6 sentences right there. Okay. So I want to remind you this is not due by the end of Monday. Okay. You have to fill out your 5 things you're thinking about, your final choice, and then a paragraph, again, probably 5 to 7 sentences in length. And that's due by the end of the day on Friday. Okay. So it shouldn't be too much. Para español, en la página 2, aquí. Okay. Have a nice day, everyone. I look forward to see what everyone is going to be learning.